Safety is important to us. Please stay away from the platform edge, especially when trains enter and leave the station.
Get like naturally.
vai doit essayer de me convaincre pour moi.
아보카도 파. 닭개월 다.
카라일까 먹고.
Go to hell, Zach Wilson!
There you go, try this.
Thanks so much. Yes, please. Can I actually do this the large?
have that pyramid on top. लालबर्ड सुना लाले लालबर्ड सुना लाले